Jól napot kívánok! Köszönöm szépen to Virag and the team at Omnic, to our hosts here at the beautiful National Museum, to the interpreters who are working very hard in the box at the back, and to all of you for coming and joining this event so far. So my topic today is to really tell you something about Europeana, who we are, what we do, and to encourage you to get involved with Europeana, whether you are a cultural institution or you are an interested individual. Our offer is open for you to join us and join our activities. First of all, I should say that these slides will be shared after this event, and they are open, they're licensed CC by SA, so they are shareable and reusable. So don't feel that you have to write down every single word on every single slide. So today I'm going to talk about Europeana, but I want to focus really on Europeana Collections, which is our primary sort of search and discovery portal to an amazing collection of cultural heritage. I feel that in the last 24 hours we've heard lots of interesting talks about sort of data in, sort of metadata workflows, and some very technical conversations. And I'd like to think more about how we communicate and share cultural heritage online with users. So I'll talk in some detail about Europeana Collections. We'll look at editorial content such as exhibitions, galleries and blogs. I will talk a little bit about how we promote our activities and our partners' collections on social media. And I will briefly talk about our network and Europeana Pro, which is an amazing place for resources connecting with cultural heritage. So who am I? Well, my background is I have a master's degree in art history from the University of St Andrews in Scotland. Those of you who like celebrity gossip might know that this is the university where Prince William and his wife did art history together, where they first met and fell in love. So there's a nice romantic story immediately. In the last 20 years, I've been working really with visual culture from different aspects. So I spent about 5 years working for private commercial picture libraries full of historic photographs, ephemera, postcards, topographical collections of many different varieties. I also worked with fine art collections and movie stills and moving footage. And during the 2000s, I spent 8 years working for Royal Museums Greenwich, which you may know as the National Maritime Museum. And there I wore a few different hats. I was the photographic studio manager, the copyright guy, the image licensing, and the print sales manager. And before I joined Europeana 3 years ago, I was working for a private art collector in London and his family. So I like to say that I have seen the different perspectives and different sides of the conversation when it comes to cultural heritage, and particularly digitized cultural heritage. So let me tell you something about Europeana. Last week, Europeana celebrated its 10th birthday, so our 10th anniversary of existence. We had some cake and some wine in the office. And Europeana really is at its heart, it's an open data platform with many different services. So right now we publish, I think, 58.5 million digital objects from all over Europe, from almost 4,000 different museums, galleries, libraries and archives. And we have two key digital products. One is Europeana Collections, which we'll talk about, I will show you in a moment. And we also have a suite of APIs, so the technically minded API-hungry people in the audience can use those to extract data and to create digital products from our vast ocean of culture. Where are we? Well, the Europeana Foundation, who I work for, we are based in The Hague, or Den Haag, in the Netherlands. There is about 50 of us, and we work and live inside the National Library of the Netherlands. But beyond those 50 people, the staff, we are supported by an amazing network, a community of over 2,000 digital heritage, technical and culture experts just like you. And we really couldn't do what we do without their support. So at Europeana, we tried to add value to the hard work of museums, galleries, libraries and archives by aggregating and promoting their collections. And the goal that we share between the Europeana staff and our network is to expand and improve access to digital cultural heritage, which, as you all know, is challenging. You can sum up our mission statement like this: we want to build on Europe's rich heritage and make it easy for people to use it, maybe for work or for research, for learning and education, or actually just for fun, just for enjoyment. I mentioned our network. Well, here are a few of those very happy, smiling people in Amsterdam in the Rijksmuseum a couple of years ago. So please remember that Europeana is powered by people. It's not just some servers and some data and some technologists. It really is a very enthusiastic and active group of communities. So, Europeana Collections, here it is. This is our entry point into this wonderful world of cultural heritage online. I should say that Europeana Collections can be navigated now in 28 different languages. So one of the advantages of publishing your data in Europeana means that you can access and present your material to people from outside of your country or who don't speak the same language as you. And I think this is a really valuable component of our products. Let's have a look at the Hungarian picture for a moment. So, of the 58.5 million records, just under 1 million come from Hungary right now. And of course, I will say that we would like to expand and improve this and to have more Hungarian heritage presented in Europeana. So that is the opportunity, that's the pitch. Let's think about access of this culture. So, of the Hungarian material, you'll notice quite quickly that only a small minority of it is available for free or limited reuse. So most of this content is presented as in copyright or rights reserved, which means that users can, sure, they can see it, they can look at it, they can access it, but can they actually do anything with it? Can educators use it in their curriculum materials? Can an artist use it as inspiration for remixing a public domain work? At the moment, the answer is usually no, and I think that's something that we should keep in mind as we are all content publishers. Europeana Collections has a few goals, and apologies for Moses and to the Rijksmuseum for me remixing this picture. We want to inspire our users to discover content. We want to stimulate use and reuse of cultural heritage. We promote open content, so open access content whenever possible. And of course, we want to encourage our partners like you to engage on our platform, to use our services, to promote your collections to new and different audiences on Europeana and on other platforms. So this is an example item in Europeana, which is quite wintry. It felt appropriate. Well, I think we had some snow yesterday. So here we have quite a high quality, a zoomable image. Some of you may know about IIIF. It's a technical standard that we are enthusiastic about and that we support. The items are also available to download directly using that nice big download button. And an important thing to say about Europeana is that every single one of the digital objects, all 58.5 million, has a direct link to the same item on the provider's website. So one can click here in the bottom right, straight to the Nordic Museum and see this same picture on their website. So if a user thinks, hey, this is cool, they like it, and they want to find out more and go to the source, they don't have to start Googling or searching for their website. They can click through and go directly to the same object. There is a one-to-one connection. The item pages also have, it shows the potential of linked open data, which we heard something about yesterday. The richer and the higher quality metadata that providers give us in Europeana, the more that we can do it and the more that it connects to other objects in Europeana. Another golden rule of Europeana is that every single record must have a clear rights statement. Now that could be public domain mark, fantastic. It could be in copyright, rights reserved. It might be a Creative Commons license like CC by SA. There are a number of options, but it is mandatory to label your data with a license. Why? Well, of course, the users need to know what they can and what they cannot do with these collections. We don't think people should have to start reading your terms and conditions in a foreign language or searching your website for 3 hours. Every single object has a rights statement, and that is a mandatory rule of publishing with us. If your object is geo-mapped, geolocated, then we present that visually using OpenStreetMap, and we also suggest similar items that users may be interested in. So one of the challenges that we have is because we have so much data, it means users can sometimes feel a little bit lost in this ocean of objects, 58 million. Like, how do they find what they're looking for? How do we help them navigate and direct them to the things that are relevant and of interest to them? So one way that we do this is we have developed a range of thematic collections, and I will explain. So in 2016, we started with 4. We had one about the First World War. We have a thematic collection on arts, fashion, and another one on music. And since I've been at Europeana, we have grown this range quite quickly. And in 2017, we doubled the number, and by Christmas, or soon after, we will have many different new thematic collections. A good way to think about these is if you are in the iTunes store or you're in Netflix, these are kind of like browse topic areas. So if you're looking at movies, it might be a thriller or a romantic comedy, these are different genres which help users navigate to fashion if they want to see fashion material, or natural history if that is their interest. This is the music thematic collection, just to show you an example. Every thematic collection has relevant browse points, so one-click opportunities to discover things relevant to music. And when users search inside the thematic collections, so with music here, they will only be searching relevant data. So they're not searching the full 58 million. Here they're searching about 500,000 music-related records. Why? Well, we think, and our feedback is positive, that this enables users to see more relevant search results, and they don't waste their time looking through non-music, for example, objects. So let's look at some editorial features that I particularly work on in the collections team. We publish a range of exhibitions online, and these vary on many topics. Some of them relate to those thematic collections. Sometimes they cross over, so we do an exhibition about art and photography. And here is the exhibition's foyer, as we call it. This is just a few examples of recent exhibitions that we've published. And here are a few more. We cover things from fashion to the First World War. There's a musicological exhibition there about Africa in 1946. So a really varied range of content. And important to say that sometimes we write these at Europeana, but quite often it's actually our partners or a group of partners who collaborate to write and publish this material on our website. So it's very much a collaborative, a joint enterprise. So the goals of these exhibitions are as follows. Of course, we want to engage users with interesting stories. We believe that we showcase the collections in a visually appealing and attractive way. The exhibitions are multi-institutional, they're pan-European in their scope, and they're multilingual. So often we publish an exhibition in 2, 3, 4, sometimes 6 different languages. Again, this opens up the content to a range of different nationalities and language speakers. And the exhibition platform is flexible, and we embed video, animation, audio files, Pinterest boards, and so on. Just to show you an example, this is an exhibition that I wrote in the spring of this year called Visions of War, and this is connected, of course, to the First World War. It mixes user-generated content, so family history material, which is donated to Europeana at Collections Day events all over Europe, with official war art from museum collections. And this has been one of our most successful exhibitions so far. In the first 2 months, we had over 30,000 visitors. Most of the content here is public domain or is reusable. And it builds on the popularity and the relevance of Europeana's 1914-18 project, which has been running since the very beginning 10 years ago. And of course, it connects with many events which you will be aware of related to the First World War this year. So what do visitors think about this? Every exhibition that we publish is surveyed, so we gather users' comments, they rate the exhibitions, and we review those comments and think, what went well and what can we do better next time. And here are a few example comments from this exhibition. I won't read them out, but the feedback was really, really positive. And the storytelling aspect of using digital collections around this particular topic was something that people enjoyed. Full width and high-res images are a nice aspect of the collections platform. This is a screen grab from an exhibition about photography in the industrial age that one of our partners wrote last year. Exhibitions are quite labor-intensive. They take work and time to develop and to publish. So we offer smaller editorial pieces which can be enjoyed over a coffee, maybe not over an hour. So galleries is one thing that we do. These are very simple visual presentations on many, many different topics that are easy for our partners and for Europeana to make these technically. And this is something that you can enjoy in a tea or coffee break for 2 or 3 minutes and have a simple, kind of enjoyable moment of discovering culture from different places. And of course, well, who doesn't have a blog? We have blogs on many different topics, and these are written by us, and again, often written and contributed, commissioned from our huge range of partner museums. I'd like to tell you briefly about a new approach that we started last year. So we are developing editorial seasons. So these are short, sometimes 1 month, 2 months, maybe 3 month editorial campaigns focused on a theme or a topic. And in spring 2017, we ran a 3-month season on Art Nouveau or Jugendstil with many different editorial components. Included a major exhibition, Art Nouveau, a universal language. This is published, sorry, universal style. This is published in 6 different languages. We had 10 partner blogs. These were written by and contributed by museum managers, collections experts who have material relating to Art Nouveau and published on Europeana. We did a partnership with Daily Art, the app and website. We made over 20 new Pinterest boards, so if you like Art Nouveau and you love Pinterest, well, you're a very happy person. We even made a colouring book for kids or maybe for adults, and all of this was promoted consistently on social media with the hashtag Art Nouveau and Art Nouveau season. So it's one thing to create and publish this content, but it's nothing if you don't promote it to where audiences can find it, perhaps on Facebook or on Twitter. Who was involved? Well, here are some of the season partners. I'm happy to say that Julia, she's over there, from the Schola Graphidis, was a valuable contributor, as was the Museum of Fine Arts in Budapest, and other partners from across Europe, as you can see here. What do our partners think about this kind of activity? Well, here are some testimonials from Julia, from the Slovak National Gallery, from the Aveiro Museum in Portugal, and from the Metropolitan Museum of Art that express the value of this partnership, of this collaboration with Europeana to present cultural heritage in a shared space online to a hugely diverse range of audiences. And I think that is the key opportunity for our providers. Sometimes it's not about what happens on Europeana. We work externally on platforms. So in 2016, we ran the biggest ever GlamWiki competition. This was a mass translation and article enrichment exercise that really happened on Wikipedia and in Wikidata. And a little bit more fun, every October we run GIF It Up, an open competition with the Digital Public Library of America, Trove in Australia, Digital NZ in New Zealand, and Europeana. And we promote openly licensed content that anyone can remix and enter in a competition with some nice prizes. And this is a good entry from this year. As I mentioned, our activity is very much powered by social media, so we have a significant Facebook following and Twitter, and we have over 50,000 newsletter subscribers, so people like you who receive our information every month, and we have an interesting range of growing number of Pinterest followers, and we have our own Giphy channel. And to conclude, let me share a couple of new activities which you can look forward to. We will soon be launching Europeana newspapers. This is a long-awaited and long-in-development project that will allow full text search of an amazing range of historical newspapers from all over Europe. So if you have newspaper collections which are not in Europeana and you're interested in joining, then please let me know and we can discuss about how we can collaborate together. In March next year, we will have a month-long celebration of innovative women in the arts and sciences, both historically and with a contemporary twist. This is organised around International Women's Day on the 8th of March. If this is of interest to you, again, please let me know and we can talk about opportunities. And finally, Europeana Pro. This is our huge list of resources on technical topics like APIs, IIIF, metadata schema, also licensing, working with educators. This is a huge treasure trove of very much business-to-business resources for cultural professionals like you. And if you're not a member of our network, then this is my pitch again to please join our network. It's free, it takes about 2 minutes online, and this will connect you, whatever your interests, whatever you're doing, with Europeana. And we promise not to spam you or break any GDPR rules. So, I have a couple of questions for you which I hope that we can discuss afterwards. And it's really, is your institution in Europeana right now? And if not, why not? What's stopping you? Is it a technical issue? Is it something to do with resources or perhaps licensing? I would love to hear your feedback. Do you promote your collections outside of Hungary? If you do, then how are you doing that? And if not, then why not? And are you thinking about it in the future? So, on that note, I would like to say, Köszönöm szépen. Thank you for listening.